Hello everyone, welcome back to my second channel, welcome back to Jack in the Books, and welcome to the mid-year freakout tag. I'm freaking out. Are you freaked out? I'm freaking out. You know what I am freaking out about? The fact that I look a bit like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because I might have spent just a little bit too much time sitting with my book by the river in the sunshine. I haven't been just sun-kissed, I've been sun-snogged. So that's not ideal, that's not great. I'm hoping that it doesn't get much worse than this, but who knows? This is a booktube trend. I'm actually trying to find the questions. I probably should have done that before turning on the camera, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've never done a tag video before, and I'm very excited that we're gonna be doing this for the first time together. So welcome to that. So the idea is that because it's very nearly halfway through the year, I'm gonna be telling you about all of the reading that I've done up to this point, and my kind of like stats, and answering some questions about the books that I've read so far, and telling you about some favorites, some least favorites, and it's gonna be a fun time. Let's start with some reading stats. So far this year I've read 70 books, which is 20,404 pages. However, I'm actually behind on my reading goal for the year. According to Goodreads, I am 2 books behind schedule. So I need to get a little wiggle on, not gonna lie. My most read moods so far this year, according to the story graph, are emotional, reflective, dark, sad, challenging, and then funny. We have funny in there eventually, we have something nice eventually. And as always, the things I read the least are inspiring and relaxing. So that tells you how unstable I am. I'm so pleased I've been exposed like that. In terms of pace, I've read books that are medium paced 72% of the time. Page number, who's surprised, only 4% are above 500 pages because I have big book fear, what can I say? 42% though are between 300 and 500 pages, so I think that's pretty good going. And then 54% are 300 pages or lower. I love a short book, what can I say? I eat that up. In terms of fiction versus non-fiction, only 14% non-fiction and 86% fiction. I am a fiction boy through and through. Genres, mostly contemporary, literary, and a lot of romance, which is surprising because usually that's pretty low for me. And then at the bottom we have a play, some philosophy, and food and drink. What did I read that was food and drink, I wonder? Oh, Crying in H Mart, that makes sense. And my most read authors of the year are Alice Oseman, Joan Didion, Jennifer Saint, and Toni Morrison. And then in terms of my monthly split, I've been all over the place. I've been all over. Look at the pure chaos of that. There's no consistency at all, but that's how we like it, right? And my average rating has been 3.85. So I've generally read pretty good books so far this year. I agree. I mean, obviously I agree, like, these are my ratings, but I do think that I've read a lot of good books this year. I'm quite chuffed with the reading that I've done so far. There's definitely a positive skew there. There's more 5-star books than 3-star books, so that's really cool. Now, all of those stats came from the Story Graph, which is an innovative website designed for book lovers. And if you want to create your own completely original, unique, and specialized website, Squarespace is the perfect place to do it, and they very kindly sponsored today's video. If you want to build a website, an online store, a blog, there are loads of really brilliant templates and features. I really love that you can see kind of insights into what your audience are actually looking at and enjoying so that you can create more of that kind of content. I am currently in the process of trying to create a website where I basically put all of the books that I've read into one specific place so that you guys can find videos where I review them, but from like one centralized hub. And so it's really useful having a website like Squarespace, which can cater to all the different needs that I have, and I can make something that is completely personal and personalized for what I need it for. It's so good to be able to customize it and take what is in your head and make it a reality, a real website that people can use. If that sounds like something that you're interested in and you want to start building your online presence today, well, you are in luck, my friend, because you can head to squarespace.com and get a free trial, and then when you're ready to launch, you can head to the link on screen and get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain by using the code. And if you do that, please send me your website when it's finished. I would love to have a little browse, a little look around, and also get some inspiration for my own one. But now, onto some questions. The best book you've read so far in 2022? Possibly The Promise by Damon Galgut. Really, really love this book, but I did read it very recently, so I don't know if I'm saying it's the absolute best just because it's still kind of fresh in my mind and I'm really still trying to digest this and contemplate it, you know, because it's intense, it's deep, and layered like a freaking onion. So there's that. I also really loved The Island of Missing Trees, Panenka, Project Hail Mary, and The Bread the Devil Need. So that's like my top 5, maybe, possibly. They're the ones off the top of the head, and that probably says a lot, right? Best sequel you've read so far in 2022? None. I haven't read a single sequel. I don't do sequels. I'm not a sequel boy. Even in like movies, TV shows, it's very rare that I watch more than one season. Like Stranger Things. I've watched season 1 and that's it. And I know that's daft. That is stupid. Everyone says these things get better and better over time, but I don't know. I don't watch a lot of TV and films, to be fair. But yeah, with books, never. I can't even think of that many series that I've read. So, sorry about that. Next, a new release you haven't read yet, but want to. Definitely this one. You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. That title is freaking awesome. I love Florence and the Machine. And this author also wrote The Death of Vivek Oji. I think that's what it's called. I haven't actually read it, but I've heard very good reviews about that. This is a new release. I'm excited to read it, and then hopefully her other book as well. So I've got high hopes for that, for sure. Your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? Cripes, Isaac and the Egg. I'm looking forward to reading that one. The biggest disappointment, I would say, Ragnarok, because I was really excited to get back into Norse mythology and read a retelling of Norse mythology, but this book wasn't what I wanted it to be. And maybe that's the thing about like my expectation and what I thought it was going to be and it wasn't. I don't know, but for me this one just wasn't it. And I'm sad about that because I thought I was really going to enjoy it. Biggest surprise? Maybe The Bread the Devil Need, because I didn't expect it to knock the wind out of me in the way that it did. It's really powerful. The last 100 pages are absolutely genius, and I was very pleasantly surprised by that book. Oh, and also Magpie by Elizabeth Day. Not because I'm surprised that she's a good writer, but that this book just surprised me in terms of like, the twists are surprising. So in like a plot sense, this book is wild and crazy and also brilliant. Favourite new author, debut or just new to you? Oh, maybe Eve Babbitt. I read Black Swans recently and loved her writing style so much. So I'm quite looking forward to reading more of her work. Definitely not a new author, but new to me. And yeah, I just really fell in love with her writing style, to be honest, and how bold she is. I really enjoyed that. Need to start putting things back on the shelf before the whole thing just collapses. A book that made you cry, Panenka. I was reading it on the train on my way to a party, and I was like, everyone else is pre-drinking, and I'm reading this book and crying. Like, they're putting fluid into their bodies, fluid is coming out of mine via the tears, via my eyes. So yeah, Panenka I think is a really special book, and just the perfect domestic tragedy in a way, but also about like reconciliation and reclaiming your life and yourself and falling in love again, and I thought it was great. I loved it. So many killer lines. A book that made you happy. Well, as we know, I mostly read like dramatic and intense and sad books, so let's have a think. Have I even read a happy book so far this year? Not that I can think of. The fact that none are springing to mind is alarming more than anything else, I think. I hate to keep banging on about The Bread the Devil Need, but that book is really funny. That's probably the only book that's made me like laugh out loud. Book that made me happy. No, I'm really struggling. I don't like happy books. I don't want to be happy when I read. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. I am obsessed with this cover. I love it. Cleopatra and Frankenstein. Obsessed. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Okay, my current TBR is You made a fool of death with your beauty, Cleopatra and Frankenstein, Less, Sorrow and Bliss, The View is Exhausting, Idol, and The Exhibitionist. How handy that they're all just right here. And those are the questions. That is my summary of my reading for the first half of 2022. I'm really looking forward to another great 6 months of reading, and I'm sure I will let you know, well, I definitely will let you know what I think of all the rest of the books that I read when I do my kind of like yearly summaries. I also might make a video on the best books that I've read so far this year, maybe in like a month's time, because I've got a few other things that I want to get through first. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring it. The link is down below. All the best, stay in touch. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer has a sleigh to ride right now. I even put sun cream on. I tried, I really tried, but anyway, love ya, bye!